Breaking news. 41 Chinese ships have descended upon a Philippine-held island, sending shockwaves across the region and beyond. Tensions are soaring in the West Philippine Sea, as the world watches this volatile flashpoint with growing concern. For the people living on Pagasa Island, this isn't just another headline on the news, it's a terrifying reality unfolding just offshore, threatening their daily lives and sense of security. The morning of January 20th, 2026, began like any other, with the sun rising over the largest Philippine-held island in the Spratlys, painting the sky in warm hues and promising a peaceful day. Children's laughter mingled with the sound of gentle waves, until, suddenly, the horizon changed, and the mood shifted. What started as tiny, distant specks on the water soon became an armada of steel, uninvited and menacing, growing larger and more ominous with every passing minute. The mood on the island shifted instantly. Laughter faded, replaced by anxious whispers and worried glances exchanged among neighbors. Residents gathered on the beach, pointing at the vessels that now choked the horizon, their presence impossible to ignore. These were not friendly ships. Their sheer numbers and tight formation sent a clear, unmistakable message of intimidation and dominance. From the Coast Guard watchtower, the view was even more alarming. A deliberate impenetrable cordon of fishing trawlers and escort ships cutting off access to vital fishing grounds and isolating the island. The radio crackled with tense, urgent reports, voices filled with worry as the situation escalated by the minute. The defenders on Pagasa were just a handful, standing resolute but facing a giant, their determination tested by overwhelming odds. This was no accident. This was a calculated act of coercion, a classic swarming tactic designed to assert control and pressure the island's defenders, all without firing a single shot. The 41 ships moved in chilling synchronization, a physical manifestation of a decades-old geopolitical struggle, now playing out in real time. For Pagasa's people and defenders, the international dispute had become deeply personal, touching every aspect of their lives and testing their resolve. The sea, once their lifeline and source of hope, was now a cage, its freedom stolen, its bounty out of reach. As the sun climbed higher, a long, dark shadow fell over the island, a stark reminder that the struggle for Pagasa's future had only just begun. Pagasa Island is home to a small, tight-knit group of Filipino civilians, fishermen, and military personnel. Here, life unfolds on the edge of the South China Sea, where every day is shaped by the rhythms of the ocean and the ever-present uncertainty of their situation. Their presence is a statement of national identity, a living declaration that this land is part of the Philippines. But today, that identity feels vulnerable, threatened by forces far beyond their shores. Fear seeps into the community, carried on the wind and whispered in quiet conversations. Mothers hold their children tighter, eyes fixed on the sea, searching for signs of danger or hope on the horizon. Fishermen stare at idle boats, their livelihoods now out of reach, as the waters they once called home have become fraught with risk and uncertainty. Daily routines continue, but anxiety lingers beneath the surface, coloring every task with a sense of unease. Every unfamiliar sound sparks fresh worry. Yet, beneath the fear, a current of defiance runs deep, uniting the community. These are not people easily intimidated. Their resolve is forged by hardship and a shared sense of purpose. They see themselves as custodians of Philippine territory, standing guard over their homeland with quiet pride. In the town hall, leaders organize watches and reassure neighbors, strengthening the bonds that hold the community together. This is not panic, but quiet resolve, a determination to endure no matter the odds. Their resilience is their greatest weapon, a testament to Filipino bayanihan in adversity, as neighbors support one another through every challenge. Pagasa is isolated with only a single airstrip and small dock as lifelines to the outside world, making every delivery of supplies a moment of relief and hope. The blockade amplifies their sense of vulnerability and psychological pressure, as distant ships loom like shadows on the horizon. The community knows they are on the front line of a national struggle, their daily lives intertwined with the fate of their country. Still, life asserts itself. Children play, families gather, and prayers for peace mix with preparations for a standoff as hope and resilience endure. This blend of fear, defiance, and humanity defines Pagasa's spirit, shaping a community that refuses to be broken. They hold their ground, refusing to abandon their home, standing as a living testament to courage in the face of uncertainty. Aboard the BRP Teresa Magbanua, the Philippine Coast Guard faces disciplined tension, every officer alert and aware of the stakes. The ship is modern, equipped with the latest technology, but today, it is utterly outnumbered by a looming presence of foreign vessels. It maintains a careful, safe distance from the encroaching fleet, its white hull standing as a symbol of Philippine resolve and sovereignty. The crew is professional and methodical, documenting every movement, every provocation, knowing that each detail could be crucial evidence. Their mission is clear: assert presence, not escalate. They must walk a fine line between vigilance and restraint. The radio becomes a battleground of words. The crew issues calm, firm challenges, always citing international law and the rights of the Philippines. Foreign vessel, you are within Philippine waters. Identify yourself and state your intentions. Chinese responses are dismissive, repeatedly claiming the waters as their own, refusing to acknowledge the Coast Guard's authority. The psychological weight is immense. Every maneuver is shadowed by multiple militia vessels, their intentions unclear, their presence intimidating. The crew trains for this, running drills and preparing for confrontation, but reality is far more daunting than any exercise. A single misstep could have national consequences, raising the stakes for every decision made on the bridge. Their presence reassures Pagasa's people, they are not abandoned. The Coast Guard's watchful eyes bring hope and a sense of security. The BRP Teresa Magbanua is a thin white line of defense, holding its course with determination in the vast contested West Philippine Sea. Outnumbered, but not outmatched in spirit, they remain vigilant, guardians of the nation's front lines, steadfast against the odds. The 41 Chinese vessels are a meticulously organized fleet, not random fishing boats. Larger trawlers form an outer ring, with agile vessels ready to harass any who approach. This is coordinated action, a gray zone armada operating below the threshold of open warfare. The intent is clear: project power, overwhelm, and intimidate. By blockading Pagasa, China demonstrates its ability to isolate Philippine-held features at will. The slow, suffocating squeeze asserts de facto control through overwhelming presence. Officially, these are fishing vessels, but their actions are those of a naval auxiliary force. The psychological impact is profound: hopelessness and futility for Filipino fishermen and Coast Guard alike. The sea, meant to be open under international law, is now a zone of exclusion. This is a slow-motion invasion of maritime rights, executed with chilling precision. It's a calculated display of power that challenges regional order. To the untrained eye, the ships swarming Pagasa look like fishing boats, but a closer look reveals their true nature: assets of China's People's Armed Forces maritime militia. Many are built for collision, with reinforced hulls, water cannons, and advanced communications. Crews are trained militia, not ordinary fishermen. Their tactics, swarming, ramming, and harassment, are state-directed, not random. The militia gives China plausible deniability, complicating any response. This ambiguity lets China advance its claims without open conflict. The 41 vessels near Pagasa are not about fishing, they're a quasi-military operation. These ships are an irregular naval force, tasked with intimidation and displacement. Unmasking them is the first step to countering the threat to regional stability. The confrontation near Pagasa is as much psychological as physical. The Chinese flotilla's main weapon is intimidation. It's mass designed to create helplessness. The Philippine Coast Guard faces a relentless war of nerves. Militia vessels perform dangerous maneuvers, forcing the Coast Guard to change course. Swarming tactics create a suffocating sense of being watched and controlled. Radio communications are used to assert false claims, sowing doubt. Water cannons and close encounters provoke or exhaust the defenders. Chinese crews film and photograph, adding to the pressure. The Philippine crew must document every incident, holding their nerve without escalation. Winning this psychological siege is critical to defending sovereignty. The standoff at Pagasa is rooted in international law, especially UNCLOS, which both the Philippines and China have signed. UNCLOS grants the Philippines sovereign rights within its 200 nautical mile EEZ, including Pagasa. China's sweeping 9-line claim overlaps, with multiple countries' EEZs. In 2016, the Hague Tribunal ruled in favor of the Philippines, invalidating China's claim. The ruling affirmed Filipino rights and condemned China's interference. China rejected the decision, intensifying its activities in defiance of international law. The presence of 41 Chinese ships is a flagrant violation of this legal judgment. The Philippines is defending not just territory, but the rule of law itself. Beyond strategy and law, the conflict devastates Filipino fishermen. For generations, these waters have been their lifeblood and identity. Now, swarming militia vessels turn fishing into a dangerous gamble. Harassment, ramming, and blocked access mean plummeting catches and rising debt. Many are forced to abandon their boats and way of life. The psychological toll is severe. Fear, anxiety, and trauma run deep. Fishermen become witnesses, reporting illegal activities and environmental destruction. Their testimonies are crucial evidence of China's aggression. These humble fishermen are now frontline defenders of sovereignty. Their struggle is measured in lost livelihoods and shattered peace. The Pagasa standoff is more than a dispute between Manila and Beijing. It's a test for the world. At stake is freedom of navigation in one of the world's busiest waterways. If one nation asserts control here, it sets a dangerous global precedent. Allies like the US, Japan, and Australia reaffirm support for the Philippines and the 2016 ruling. Joint patrols and exercises signal unity, but China's power and defiance remain daunting. The challenge counter-aggression without sparking wider conflict. The outcome will decide if law or force rules the seas. The world is watching, because what happens at Pagasa will shape the future of global order.